How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
But I wanted to revisit the topic because as I covered Atlas OS, I had a lot of people contact me. I had a lot of people say, hey, check out Revi OS, check out Ghost Spectre, or whatever crazy name these custom ISO makers come up with. And I have criteria because I want to protect the people that watch my channel.
You serious?
I want to protect the people that watch my channel, but also kind of just show you what's available as well.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I just want to preface this whole video with, if you have to go download an ISO from a shady file site or a torrent or something like that that has Windows on it, yeah, you're probably going to get infected. And why is it you always download it from kind of like not an official site? It's like archive.org or usually some kind of like MediaFire, you know, a Mega. You get it from all kinds of places, but never really an official source, usually from shady spots. Well, just make it yourself with like NT Lite or MSMG Toolkit, which I've done videos on. However, there's a new game in town, and I covered Atlas OS's approach to it, but what I didn't realize is the original Windows AME or Milerated team created this wizard. The playbooks themselves are what these new custom Windows ISOs are using to distribute it, so to speak.
I picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
But a lot of times it strips out Defender and other aspects of Windows, which is an immediate red flag and not something I would ever use. But I love the idea of it, and I love how it works. So today, I want to look at the actual creators of this and look at all the claims and where it could go, because this is a very new project and they spent a year developing it. And I could definitely see it in the future being really, really good.
I'm on one side, see? I'm on the other side. I'm on the East Bank, I'm on the West Bank. It is not that critical.
But there are some concerns we need to talk about first. So first off, it's an executable that's run and then a playbook. Now, obviously, I've already run Atlas and I don't want to use Revi. They have their own playbooks. If you scroll all the way down here, they have like AME 10, and that's made by them, and that's what they done for their testing. So that's what we use today. Now, it says cutting the tumor out of your OS. This does much like Atlas OS did and just removes pretty much everything from your system. So you'll be very insecure, and security will be a major issue if you do any of these playbooks. I just want to specify that. So by no means am I saying for the general audience out there you should be doing this, but I am curious to see where it goes, because I could see myself making my own playbook, so to speak, that would be good. However, a couple claims here I just want to touch on first is, one, they have a verified, unverified system. To be verified right now, you have to go through their Patreon, which is about $10 a month, and you get playbook verification, and I kind of okay with that. So you have to pay money per month to have a verified playbook. I was like, that's kind of a interesting way of doing it. But again, this entity is not really known, and how comfortable are we giving them our money? And that's something I'm like, okay. And then I was like, well, it's open source. Let's take a look at the actual code itself, the actual wizard itself, because it says right here, it's open source down right here. So I was like, okay, freely available source code strengthens. I pull this up and I look at it, and well, this is the core of the wizard, but it's not really the wizard. So it's not truly open source. It's partially open source. There's also no documentation on how to use these playbooks. So there is no source code for the actual wizard. And I'm actually okay with that, but I think they should be a little bit more forward saying it's partially open source, because it's not, the whole project's not completely open source. So that can be a concern, because there's certain aspects of this we can't see. I do think there is a spot, especially in the custom Windows realm. I do like this method better than a lot of other methods of like downloading a playbook from some shady site. Let's see what it is and just kind of show you how these playbooks are deployed. Basically, it just wants you to come in here, disable all of your security, because it will be modifying the system heavily. And that means it could install anything at once. Also uninstall anything at once. So that's what this is doing right here. It's disabling your entire security. So definitely do not run on a daily driving or any kind of major system that you might have any sensitive information on. Now this is going to require an activation, so I'm going to burn a key just so you can see this. So it has a whole bunch of different YAML files. I noticed AppX is your Microsoft packages that come baked into the system. This will remove the Microsoft Store, Xbox, anything downloaded from the Microsoft Store will also be removed. Configures all of the services, so it disables a huge amount of services in services.msc. Removes Defender, Edge, and like malicious removal tool, otherwise known as mrt.exe, OneDrive, all Office or baked in Office, Update Health, a whole bunch of other settings that come baked in on the Windows 10 and also on Windows 11 using that playbook. It also has a custom SFC migration. So they created their own SFC or system file checker tool. So a huge amount of work has gone into this project. That's why I don't want to just crap on it. I really just kind of wanted to show people it and have more people review it, not use it necessarily, but review it. Because I'm really want to see where this goes. It does take some liberties with some things it's installing here, Firefox, Thunderbird, and some other programs that I don't personally use. I know some people probably do, but I usually would probably modify this playbook to remove all those extra installs. I am kind of interested, and I think I will trust this project a little more once I see more people use it.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
I really just kind of wanted to show people it and have more people review it, not use it necessarily, but review it. Also, one big thing here I would like to see, if I see more custom ISOs adopt this, and you see them kind of pile on, and the donations on Patreon, if this gets up there and they're getting a lot of money per month, where this is maybe $1,000 or $2,000 a month, that's going to be a very big incentive for them to keep their good reputation, and it's going to increase the reputation to a spot to where a lot of people could trust this.
Is this guy a retard?
Really need to tinker around in a virtual machine. I wouldn't necessarily use this. But I would say that I really like this method of debloating Windows in the future when it becomes more reputable. So stay tuned. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this project. I just want to inform everybody what all's going on with it, because it's really neat. I don't trust it. I don't recommend it. But dang, it has such promise. And for those users that always want the absolute minimum experience, it's not bad, especially if you know what you're doing.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.